Alright everyone, welcome back to my tutorial town here on the Banished Red Ketchup Mod. If you don't recall where we left off last time, we're in a pretty good spot right now. The mission for today is to continue our slow and methodical growth, stay alive. We've got 4,000 food. We need to continue our survival, but we also want to start some production. So I'm going to show you how to get glass and clay bricks, I guess is what I mean. So you go to the Red Ketchup tab here, and within this we want to get resources. So this, it's a tree and a rock, so that's resources. And there's so much here. This is really where the Red Ketchup mod just grows and expands your experience with the game so much. So there's fodder farms, and there's stables, and a malt house so you can make beer. There's a florist where you can plant flowers, a perfumery so you don't stink, so on and so forth. The furniture and weapons are all really fantastic things to export so that you can buy new goods. There's some really fun stuff. What I want to do is put in a clay pit. Now if you look at this, it's backwards because you need to be on a coast and you need to be a little bit on land too. So we're still showing up red here. Maybe this is a bad example for me to start with. Let's try this coast. Okay, here we go. So you can see we're white here, so it would let me place it here. It would let me place it there, but not there. That's too far into the water. So I'm going to go ahead and slap down the old clay pit here. Now clay, you probably already know this, but clay is what will get us the materials to make bricks. Now we also want to build a sand pit. And I like to build these industries close to each other. You certainly don't have to. It's a matter of personal preference. So I'm going to slap that down there. And I'm going to extend the old road down here. And I like to also go into the Red Ketchup area. There's so much you can do with storage. There's all these different barns, but there's also this cool, I mean, look at these icons. It's just fantastic. I really like this mod. I like all that you can do with it. So I want to build a stockpile, and we're going to do this one because it's a covered stockpile. So you click here, and look at that cool little barn, okay? And I'm going to extend it down like, actually what I'm going to do is do one here and another one here and another one there. So it just looks like one continuous barn. Now let's see if I can do this. Do some camera trickery here. Not much of a camera guy yet, but you can see, well, you can see an animal stuck there. But they're chopping things down, but they're going to start putting, see there's already some wood they put into the storage here. That's what this is. So if you want to check and see what all's there, it already tells you there's 8 lumber. This is functions the same as, oops, sorry, wrong button. It functions the same as this one, but it has this cool little roof on it, and I think that makes it look a little more industrial, so to speak. So we're going to go ahead and start getting some clay, and all they're going to have to do, they'll probably live here, they'll walk over here, they'll work, dig, and put it in here. So what are we going to make? Well, we've already talked about this. We are going to make glass and glass bottles, and we are going to make bricks and roof tiles. So the next step, again, will be to go back to the resources. We already built our charcoal kiln up there. We've already built the sand pit and the clay pit. So now we need a kiln. somewhere in here. Let's think about this. The kiln won't fit there, even if we rotate close but no cigar. All right, and we also want to build the glass maker. This is a nice building. I'm partial to the art and design elements of this game, particularly within Red's mod. He's done such a fantastic job of making the. I mean, I've never been in a colonial glass making building before, but I imagine it would look a lot like this. You got the stone base and the chimney on the side. You've got baskets full of sand, firewood to keep it burning. I mean, it's just fantastic. I really love it. So these are the details that keep me coming back to this game. So what we could do if we want is we could put them the same way as the houses. We could spin them around and make sort of like a throughway here, a nice road. So we could make this like the industrial section. Actually, let's do that. Let's make this a double road. Except that I screwed that up already. But let's make this double road, and then we'll put the kiln, and let's leave a space between we'll put that right there. Okay, look at this. Our people are at it. We've got extra workers. What do they need to do here? They need 12 logs, and for some reason that is not getting done quite as quickly as some of the other projects up here, which is odd. So we're gonna I don't often clear cut. You've probably picked up on that. I don't often clear cut, but I'm gonna clear cut there. Okay, and now see, this is what I'm talking about, the micromanaging part of it. I was being lazy and not making sure that we have enough iron. So now we're running low on iron and they can't build anything. They can't convert any. So we'll send some folks up here to grab that iron. Alright, we've got some cloth, we've got some leather. So we'll do that. There's lots of maintenance work here, but we've got a kiln already. So we've got 20 clay coming in, 24 clay. So we could, if we want to, start this up and get some bricks going. I'm actually not going to start that just yet. I don't know that we are dying for bricks. There are other things that might be more pressing needs at this present moment, but you can imagine that bricks are the kinds of things that we could make extra and then trade, because it's a produced good, right? It's something that could be sold for profit. All right, so we're doing pretty good on fish there. We're still sitting at 3,500, even though we've added more people. So since we've got some extra laborers, I'll tell you what, it's summer right now, but I may go ahead and have them plant another kale field for next year, just in case. Sorry if my mic just made a loud noise. So we're getting 560. That would be a nice little bump there. The other thing we could do is we could put another gatherer somewhere like this down here, but I'm kind of liking this industrial neighborhood we're kind of building down here. We've got a couple houses, but we could put a little more housing maybe along here, and then more places to work there. I don't know. This sort of the world is our oyster in this setup. And look at that. Look, I have to zoom in on this. Let's just take a look at these. We've got a kiln with bricks and tiles and the wood used to fire it and clay. And look at that glassworks. It's just phenomenal detail. I am always surprised at how much work people put. I mean, remember that modders aren't doing this for money. Modders do this because they love the game. Modders do this because it's a passion. And I am so drawn to that. I'm drawn to the history aspect of this game. I'm drawn to the creative aspect of this game, and I just love being able to utilize the work that other people have put into something like this. It's really phenomenal to me, and I consider it a privilege, really, a privilege to get to do it. So, all right, we're pretty full up here. We've got 300 fodder and thatch. Now you might be wondering what we can do with that. There's a few different things you can do with fodder and thatch. You can feed it to animals at the stables if you want to build stables. I tend not to because the only thing stables produce is manure, and I don't need more of that in my life. I'm going to go ahead and mark this before I forget about it. But in terms of fodder thatch, there is another function, and it's blanking in my mind right now, but there is another function within the game where you can use fodder and thatch to bind it together for for burning, unless I'm confusing it with Colonial Charter. Oh my, it jumped 5,000. Okay, well, we can store 5,000 materials. I'm okay with that. Alright, so this barn is at 36%. Do we have that kind of storage down here? Not really. So it may be time to continue with our clearing work down here. Continue to move that way. I haven't checked on our housing situation. It looks like we still need houses. Somebody had left a comment on an earlier episode about forcing people out. I've certainly done that in my days of Banished gameplay, but I'm going to hold off on that for this particular game. Well, here, for demonstration's sake. So this is there's one man living here. And what we can do, we can trick them. Trick the game mechanic. We say that we are going to destroy this building. So we mark it, we're going to destroy it. Oh no. So you can see they're thinking about removing stuff. I typically will count down in my head. I'll do something else or whatever and then come back to it. And I'll say, all right, now I'm going to reclaim the building. And now look at that. Magically, we got a man and a woman who are of childbearing age. And I think it's something like 2 or 3 seasons. We're going to see a child here, which is good if we want to expand our population. So you can see here, there's plenty of people who could move out into their own homes. And now here we've got, it's not the same single man, but it's the same idea. So we'll mark this. Maybe while we're thinking about that, we'll come down here and see, okay, barley seeds. Let's mark that and see if we can maybe make a deal. But we'll come back over to here and say, no, 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 no. And then, ta-da, we got a man and a woman moved in. So we need more housing, though, is what this is really about. We've got all of these houses are families. They're actual proper families. Now, this is actually the opposite problem of what I typically have when I play my own save games. My typical problem is that I expand too fast. And in this game, I appear to be expanding too slow. Let's do light blue. I never do light blue. Now, if you're wondering why I keep doing the same style of house, I'll tell you why. Look right here. See where it says colorful little house, 24 wood and 6 stone. That's why. Because we have wood and we keep gathering enough stone. So they're cheaper to build than some of these other ones. But, like I said, we've got 157 lumber. So maybe if we put a street across here, or maybe some houses down here, we could bring in some of the other housing styles from the Red Ketchup mod, just to give you a sense of what those are. So, okay, let's see. We need 2,500. This gives us, I'm not going to do mental math while I'm recording. Okay, there's 500 there plus 500 there. That's 1,000. We've got 1,100. 1,100 is pretty good. 1,100 is pretty good. We've got some charcoal we could deal. We've got some copper ore we could deal. We've got some lumber we could deal. Well, do we want to try to make that happen? That's the question. The question indeed. Do we want to start ferrying things over? What did I say with the last one? I think I said we want to have closer to 2,000 before we start moving too much around. So I'm going to stick with that policy. We'll wait till we have closer to 2,000. I really wish that they would bring us some animals. That's why I built this. Because animals, especially if we could get some sheep in, that would help us with wool. That would solve our clothing problem. Maybe not permanently, but for a while. Oh, sorry about the lighting's changed there. I don't know what happened with the seasons, but I'm gonna keep marking these. I know it's not the most thrilling thing to watch, somebody marking materials to gather, but it's part of the game and it's important. So I'm going to extend the dirt road down, and we are going to go to the housing tab. Now, I could spend an entire episode talking about each of these and the advantages and disadvantages of them. There are some that make a ton of sense, and they look really cool. I mean, these just, to me, they look so modern compared to the other houses. And I like to add these later in my game, and I'll do whole neighborhoods with these. These one, these Boston houses. If you plop these down next to these old, older primitive style buildings, I think it looks kind of silly. But if you have a section of town with a bunch of these cool looking Boston houses, I think that's really neat. So Red has this set up. You come through the menus here, and these are all. We're going to be making bricks soon, so we'll be able to build these brick houses. But then there's also lumber, if you want to make small lumber houses. I like these. He's got these ones called colorful houses, something like that. But these are little houses that cost 24 lumber and 8 stone. So we could build quite a few of these if we want. I'm going to make a little main street here with these little houses. Not Main Street, that's not what I mean, but so I'm going to put a space between them. I don't know, I just like to make it feel a little more realistic in that regard. So these people will live here and work in the businesses that we're building in this industrial area. Hopefully that makes sense. Actually, we've got this trader up here. This would be a fantastic place to put, well, unless that's a bump, I can't tell, but I think it would be a fantastic place to build the regular, not the seed and stock trader, but the regular trading post. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? You could put it right there. And the boats will just come straight down. Oh, I like that. I think I'm going to do that. And you can see these arrows in the middle. Sorry, my cursor is occupied, but there are these arrows here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to build, this is like the main commercial and industrial area of Tutorial Town. So we'll put this double road here. We'll turn this into a double road, at least where we can. And we'll get our production humming. Let's see how much. Oh, we got 74 clay there, 6 clay there. Got 126 sand. All right, we've got 10 workers. We'll go ahead and put a person. You know what? Let's go ahead. We'll get the kiln going. So they're gonna make. We want to bump that to charcoal because it's a more affordable, more efficient, I should say, charcoal. So we'll get some clay bricks made, and we will get some glass made. And eventually we can use that to make all sorts of things. So we got a pair in there. We got a pair in there. Let's see if we have any extras. Okay, so there's two 10-year-old boys down here. That's a couple, but that is not. So we could do some work there if we wanted. There's a 7-year-old girl there who's going to need to pair off soon. We're getting some older folks. No offense if anyone viewing is 50 and over, but in the Banished world, they're getting up there. I've seen people live to their 80s and 90s on here, though. So I just mean, I'm not sure how accurate the childbearing years are depicted in this game. But these are some of probably the founding families, right? They've been around for several seasons. Remember that a year is not a year in Banished. A year is a season in Banished. So they're actually, their real age would be considerably less than that. Alright, so we just made some cloth. We should have cloth and leather, right? Cloth, we should have leather, 23, and 12 cloth. So we'll switch back to these. Alright, so we're in good shape. You can see the Forester has been doing his job. Look at this. I should do a screenshot with this compared to 2 episodes ago when it was all sparse in these areas. The Foresters have been doing their job planting, and they're starting to get us a little bit more logs. We could do better, but we're in a good spot with that. We've got some wasted space in here that we could either turn into more efficient roads or reroute a little bit if we want. Maybe we'll bring a road across here and connect up so that everybody's not walking on that one single. There's some, some traffic adjustments we could make. Oh boy, they built that fast. Okay. Yeah, this is because I'm taking so much time explaining things, it's become a benefit to to the city. We should probably put a foundry down here maybe, and then we can make metal and trade it. But yeah, we need to work on more of this industry. We need to work on refining some food. There's a lot left to do, but thank you so much everyone for tuning in, for watching this series. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're having fun, and my biggest hope is that you're learning something about this fantastic game and the mod that has really opened it up for me. Thanks everyone for your time and attention. Have a great day. Bye-bye.